Hello, welcome back. Guys, we're doing another tier list today. It's going to be so much fun. Some of these might stay in the same category, but we have some new characters. We had some losses last season. So yeah, I also changed the tier in the middle because I didn't do it right last time and it really confused me. So that's the middle tier is now I like the character, but I think they might die type of thing. So I changed it a little bit because last time it was supposed to be like they need to die, but then I got really confused and so I did it wrong. So I'm really sorry if you're confused based off that. But I was basing last one kind of off of I think they're going to die, and so that was the mindset. But let's rank some characters today. It's probably going to be controversial again, but let's do it. Right off the bat, y'all already know I love Arya. I'm really excited to see maybe more of her next season. She killed her first man last episode. And then she looked at Jaqen's coin. So I'm pretty convinced she might be going to Jaqen. And if so, I'm really excited for that. So I'm really liking Arya. I think she has seen a lot and gone through a lot. And I think her character, like, as it develops, is going to be so good. Sir Barristan, love. I love him. I think he's like really honorable, really great. He has Dany's back. I think he's a great counselor for her. We love Sir Barristan. I really love Bran. I don't know. I think Bran is in the love category simply because of his like warg dreams and visions. Like I think that's so cool. It's such a cool element. So I really like Bran and he's in the love list for sure. Same with Brienne. I love Brienne. I think it's really cool to have a character like Brienne, and it's also really fun to see her like kind of bouncing moral ideals off of Jaime and like the conversations that they have. Like I really really like her character. Bronn, still in the questionable for me. I know y'all like Bronn, but I don't know. Just something about him like rubs me the wrong way. Maybe I just don't get a lot of Bronn screen time. So, and he is funny. Like he has his little moments where he's funny, and I don't like hate him. It's just he's not my favorite. He's still kind of like very cocky, very like you know. So that definitely makes it a little hard to like him because I feel like I don't get a bunch of screen time with him, and he just seems kind of cocky. So I think I need some more Bronn screen time in order to like him more. But R.I.P. R.I.P. I like Kat. I would love her if it wasn't for her impulsive choices and her impulsive actions. Some of them make sense. A lot of them make sense from like a mother perspective. But at the same time, her giving up Jaime was so irritating to me. I was able to kind of like see past it and forgive her for it, but it's still like really hurts when I think about it. So I liked Kat. I really did. But rest in peace. Rest in peace. I think there's just a few things that I think I could never really forgive her for. One of them is like how she treats Jon, and another of them is her impulsive decisions. But other than that, I do really like her character. Y'all already know Cersei's going in the love again. We love Cersei's character. It's so good. Like she has just like these little small like nuances that I love about her character. She's not just this like one-dimensional evil queen type of character. Like she's like so well-rounded and she has so many sides to her. I love her character so much. Dany, guys, love or like for Dany. Dany grew on me so much this season because last season I was very like iffy on Dany. Like I liked her character, but I thought she made so many empty threats that it really just kind of made me anxious. Where this season, like she was cooking this season, and now she's like on this path to free slaves, and she really does have a good heart. And so that's something I really like about her is like not only does she have power right now, like she's building up power, but she also has a good heart, which I really like about her. So I'm really loving Dany so far, but I hope it doesn't switch. I do feel like there could be like a dark side to Dany. There's a few like little comments or looks that she makes that make me a little worried, but it could just be her having a bad day, you know? So I really don't know what's going to happen with her character, because I could see her character going two ways, where she's like this like amazing lovely person who does everything like by the pureness of her heart, or she turns like really dark or something. So I'm like kind of eager to see what happens with Dany's character, because she has these one little like lines or comments sometimes where she seems kind of cocky, or she seems kind of like you bow down to me type of thing, only like every once in a while. Like they're very small, but they're there, and I'm noticing them, and I'm like, those are interesting, you know. But other than that, I love her character. We have Davos, who I love. You guys know I love Davos too. This whole list is gonna be loves. Davos, adore Davos, and I think him standing on business for Gendry, and him like not being scared to tell Stannis like what his actual mindset is. Why are we lagging? What his actual mindset is so important, because I feel like a lot of people, especially when they're like advisors or hand of the king or whatever to somebody like Stannis, a lot of times they just like bow down and do whatever they want. But Davos isn't scared to speak his mind, and I love that about him, because I agree with a lot of his mindsets. Same with Gendry. We love Gendry. Y'all already know I love Gendry. The only reason Gendry is on this list is because I requested it, y'all. So shout out to my mod for making this for me. I forgot to say that. Sweet Kayla made this for me. So shout out to Kayla. But we also have Jaime. I still don't know how I feel about Jaime. He's definitely grown on me a lot since last season, but I don't think it's like a love. It's just like okay, I respect you and I see your opinion now type of thing, you know? So it's like, I feel like once again, I don't get a ton of screen time with Jaime. And when I do, I feel like I'm just like learning who he is as a man and not really like in his character you know? Does that make sense? So I like him. I really do. And I gained a lot of respect for him last season, especially with his whole scene with Brienne in the bathtub. But I don't know. I don't love him. And I know y'all love him. So maybe something happens later. I don't know. I'm not sure. Why are we lagging? We have Mormont. Rip Mormont. Where should I put him? I really loved him. He was a great commander. He stood on business. He was training Jon up. And now he's gone. Rip. Anyways, Joffrey. Get the F out of here, Joffrey. Jojen, questionable. Because we know he shows up in Bran's dreams. He's telling Bran a lot of lore. But I'm just like, where did you come from? You know, like, I know he maybe like got a vision of Bran, and like now he's with Bran, and like that's kind of the plot of their story. But it's just, to me, it's like, okay, you're telling Bran all of this stuff. Where did you learn it from? You know? And then on top of that, where did you come from? And on top of that, why are you so adamant that we go north of the wall? But you're not telling us specifically why. So I'm just like, something's a little sketchy with him, but at the same time, we know the Reed family was close with the Starks. So I know I can trust him, potentially. I don't know. But he seems cool. I don't know. We have Jon. Jon grew on me this season, y'all. He grew on me. So he's in the like list now. He's not in the love list. I'm sorry. But I don't know. He stepped up from season 2 to season 3. It was like a whole different Jon. 100%. And I think a big part of it was Jon finally found like kind of a little bit of his niche, where in the Night's Watch he was kind of just bowing down to everybody and he had to do everything without questioning. And with the Wildlings, I think he definitely fits in more with them. You know what I mean? Where he's not bowing down and having to do everything they say the minute they say it. Like, he has a little bit more freedom. So I'm wondering if that's gonna change his character now that he's back at the wall, if he's gonna be a little more hard-headed, I guess. So I'm really interested to see what happens with Jon now that he got a taste of freedom and now that he's back in like the confines of having to bow down type of thing. So I'm really interested to see what happens with that. But he definitely grew on me this season. I liked his character a lot more this season. Jorah, no longer in the love category for me. He's been a little feisty recently, and I'm like, Jorah, you need to chill, buddy. You need to chill. I think he's getting to this point with Dany where it's like no longer like this like cute little crush. It's like obsession in a way, where it's like he's kind of getting like territorial over her, which doesn't sit right with me, because like it would sit right with me if they were like in a relationship or something, but they're not. And so that's where I'm like, okay, Jorah, you need to back up a little bit, because I can respect having a crush on Dany. I can. She's gorgeous. But at the same time, you got to know your place. And so when he's like kind of like checking Sir Barristan and checking Dario. I'm just like, bro, come on, chill. Like, chill. She's not yours. She's a human. So that definitely like didn't sit well with me this season. And there was a lot of little comments like that from Jorah. So he's in the like category, but I still like him. I just think he needs to chill a little bit. Littlefinger's still in the hate category. And I can respect Littlefinger being as crafty as he is. Y'all made some really good points on the last tier list. Like, Littlefinger would be in the love list because he's so crafty. And I kind of agree with you. I think it's just like his craftiness is so overwhelming. Like, it's so hard because I feel like Tywin's is very calculated. It's for the honor of his family. Like, there's a reason behind his craftiness, where Littlefinger's reason behind his craftiness is just so he can get higher up. And I can't respect that because it's very selfish and it's very snaky. And so it's like, it's one thing if you're doing it for like the good of your family and like it's for like everybody in your family. It's a whole nother thing when you're like betraying every single person on every single corner just so you can be top dog. Like, I don't like that. I do not like that. So he's in the hate, but I can respect how crafty he is. I can respect that because he knows what he's doing. I'll give him that. Loras, how are you still alive, buddy? I don't understand. I really like Loras's character. I think he's really sweet, but he has like not a lot of screen time. He's supposed to marry Cersei now, which honestly, I'm so convinced Cersei's gonna like poison him or something. I don't think it's gonna happen. Why are we lagging again? I don't think it's gonna happen, but I do like his character. I'm just wondering what's gonna happen with it. I really do see him dying soon. So I'm just like, okay, there's Loras again. I feel like he's always just like walking around. Marjorie, I really like. There was a moment where I almost didn't like Marjorie, and that was when I thought she was like trying to play Sansa like crazy and she was like manipulating Sansa, but it seems like she actually does want a friendship from Sansa. So I actually really do love Marjorie, and I think her craftiness and her little comments with Cersei, oh, they're so good. When Marjorie and Cersei on the screen, I'm so locked in. It's so fun. Same with Marjorie and Joffrey. I really, really love like how crafty she is. Mira, questionable. I think I like her a little more than I like Jojen, just because she seems a little more relatable, a little more down to earth. Her conversations with Osha were always really fun, but at the end of the day, like, I still don't know much about her. But she did make a comment in season 3 of like, some people need more protecting than others, and like, that's not a bad thing, or something along those lines. And I really liked that comment, so it made me like her a lot. So I do like her. I just don't know. A part of me is like, do you guys have like an underlying intention? Like, can we fully trust you two? So it definitely makes me anxious, but I do like them. So I don't know, questionable. Melisandre, I still don't know how I feel about her. I don't. Like, she has these visions that come true, and that's great for her. She's a really cool character. Like, I'm not gonna lie, she's a cool character. But I'm just like, girl, chill out, please. She just has like this mindset of like, Stannis is everything. And I'm like, where did this mindset come from, you know? Like, I guess the Lord of Light gave her that vision. But at the same time, I'm like, why? You know, I'm just like, girl, what are we doing? So I like her, and I think her little like magical gifts and her Lord of Light gifts are really cool. And I like learning a little bit about her past, of how she was like a slave and stuff. But I don't know, something's just weird with her. Something just doesn't sit right with her. But guys, I'm gonna pause for a second because this is buffering a lot, so I'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. It should be better. Sorry, I was exporting. Also, I keep looking over here because my tier list is over here, so I'm sorry. We have, let's see, how do you say her name? Missandei, I think it is. I don't know. I really like her so far, but I feel like I don't get a lot of screen time with her. So I'm hoping we maybe get more, but I do really like her. And I really like that Dany like made her part of her deal. So she's like a part of Dany's court now. But I feel like she hasn't really said much. I think the only like conversation that we've really had with her since Dany like took her is that scene in the bathtub where she was like teaching Dany Dothraki. She was like, you don't know it as well as you think you do. But I do really like her. I'm interested to see what happens with her character. She seems fun. Olenna. I love her. I haven't met like much of her, but from what I do know of her, like I love her. She's like a female Tywin in a way, but I think Tywin's a little above that. I really, really, really love her character. I think she's really fun. She's like a breath of fresh air in this world where everybody's like so serious and so like careful with their words. And then there's Lady Olenna who just like says whatever she wants. So I love it. And she even like made a little comment to Tywin about like brothers and sisters being together, and oh my gosh, that was so good. We love Osha, but I think Osha's gonna die, or she's just gonna like fade off screen with Rickon, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I still think she might like have a really tragic death, but she's separated from Bran now, so I'm really not sure if her character is even going any further, because we know Rickon isn't really like a big character. So I'm wondering if like maybe we'll follow them or like what's gonna happen. I have no idea. Ramsay. What is wrong with that man? You guys, what is wrong with him? Yeah, he's a creep, and the things he's doing to Theon is crazy to me, because it's like at this point just kill him. You know, like what is the purpose of this? So it just tells me like he's not right in the head. And no, same with Bolton. Bolton I can respect from like a crafty wanting to do better for my family type of thing. It's a very like Lannister thing to do, of like snaking out the Starks so that way you're now Warden of the North. But dude, the betrayal is insane. Like I can't believe that it was Bolton who turned on us. Like I can't. And he even made a comment to Frey last episode of like, oh, like Rob never listened to me. Like, yes, he did. I can't. Anyways, Rob, rest in peace, buddy. Rest in peace, buddy. Man, I loved Rob for a long time there, and then towards the end of season 3 and end of season 2 and most of season 3, I was getting pretty irritated with Rob because I felt like we were just getting really distracted and he was making really kind of like amateur mistakes, but at the same time like he's still a kid, so I like had a lot of grace for him. But I had a feeling we were gonna lose. I just didn't think it was gonna happen at this wedding, y'all. Like, it was insane. So rest in peace, Rob. I really liked your character. Oh man, that was insane. Sam, I really like Sam. I don't know where his character is going, because I feel like a lot of times when Sam is on the screen, he's kind of just there to give us like knowledge and lore, and then he's off screen, you know? So I'm hoping that maybe like his relationship with Gilly will maybe kind of like push him up into more screen time. But I'm really just kind of confused on where Sam's character is going to go, because he's not really like a big fighter and he's at the wall. So I'm like, what's going to happen with Sam's character? So I like his character, but I don't like love it. You know, he's not like a big character to me. Like, he's just cute little Sam. So yeah. That's how I feel about Sam. Sansa. We love Sansa. Can I add more up here? I can. Okay, cool. I really like Sansa, and I think she's still going through it. Like, still going through it. When we play games, we call it like we're in the blender right now. Sansa's in the blender, and she's been in the blender since season 1. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, can we please give Sansa a break? Because I think even in season 3, like we see like she's married to Tyrion now, and so much has happened, and Joffrey's still like trying to mess with her, and it's just like, dude. And then now she found out about Rob, and it's one thing after another with Sansa, and I feel so sympathetic towards her, because I'm like, she's still a kid. We found out that she was 14 when she married Tyrion, so it's like she's still 14, and she's monitoring this, like, or she's like moving through this court all alone. Hopefully Marjorie can be a good support for her, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, we need to get Sansa out of here. But she's married to Tyrion now, so she's stuck. It sucks. Shae, I still think is gonna die. I don't really know. I'm pretty convinced that I think Tywin is gonna find out about Shae, or Cersei, and then run to Tywin or something along those lines, and then she's gonna die and Tyrion's gonna be a wreck, and maybe Sansa and Tyrion will like turn on the court together. That'd be so cool. But I really don't know. I just don't see, like, I'm at a point with Shae's character where I'm like, okay, what's gonna be her purpose? Like, her only purpose to me right now kind of seems like she's Tyrion character development. And I hope that doesn't sound mean. I don't mean that in a mean way. I really like her. I think it's just she is like kind of like fiending after Tyrion, as she should, because she loves him. But Tyrion's now married to Sansa, and so it's like this whole messy like love triangle thing right now. But she's lowborn, and Tywin will never accept her into the family, and Tyrion's already married now, and so the only thing I can see her character like leading towards is like a really tragic death. So something along those lines. But I really like her, and it's gonna be really sad when it happens. Stannis, still questionable, y'all. Like, I can respect him as a man. I can respect some of his decisions, but then there's other decisions that are heavily influenced by Melisandre that I'm just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So I like Stannis and Davos, but I don't like Stannis and Melisandre. You know what I mean? Like, when it's Stannis and Davos, I really like Stannis, and then when it's Stannis and Melisandre, I'm like, ugh, you know? So I'm iffy on him. I'm still iffy on him. Talissa, Rip Queen. Rip Queen. Y'all knew I was questionable about her. I don't blame her for Rob making mistakes. I want to make that very clear. I do not blame her for Rob's choices. Something doesn't sit right with her. Like, she had made comments about being a spy, and then we get married, and now we're all killed. Coincidence? So I'm just like, I don't know. Something about her never really sat right with me. And even Kat wasn't like a big fan of her. And I just feel like she came out of nowhere, and Rob broke all of his vows for her, which that was Rob's choice. But it's more of just like, I didn't really know anything about her. And then she's dead, you know? So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about her. But Rip Talissa, the way she died was horrible. Awful. The Hound, I'm loving the Hound, y'all. I really, really, really like him. And I want more of his like screen time, more time with Arya. I think the Hound and Arya, like, I know she doesn't like him, but I'm loving that duo. Like, I think it's so fun. I really hope that like becomes a thing and stays a thing. Like, maybe he'll train her how to fight instead of her going to Jaqen or something like that. But we know she was looking at the coin, so I'm pretty convinced she's going to Jaqen. Especially because I feel like they wouldn't add that into the story if it wasn't going to become a thing. But I'm just more of like, okay, what's going to happen with the Hound now? Because he kind of seems to just be like roaming around, and then now he's like, oh, Arya, I'll take you to your family, but it's like, now what, you know? So I'm interested to see what happens with Arya and the Hound, but I really, really love his character, and I think he's really fun. Theon. I like Theon. Y'all know I like Theon. I think he made a lot of mistakes, and I think like, I'm a big Harry Potter fan, so if you guys watch Harry Potter, like, you know, like Draco Malfoy, that's like kind of the same vibe as Theon for me, where it's like a lot of times like you're set up for the future that you have. And this one with Theon, it was just like he made the wrong choices, but that doesn't make him like a horrible, horrible person. Like, yeah, he made some really bad choices, but at the same time, like, he doesn't deserve what's happening to him right now. So I'm at a point where I'm like, can we just put Theon out of his misery and call it a day? And the whole scene with Balon being like, he's stupid, he gets what he deserves type of thing, I was heartbroken, y'all, because how can you say that about your son? It's just insane to me. Tormund, questionable. He's funny, but I don't know enough about him to know if I like him, love him, hate him. He's interesting. He seems like a funny guy. That's all I've got with him. Tyrion, love. I think love or like for Tyrion. Probably love. Yeah, love. I like Tyrion a lot. And I really think he's the odd one out with the Lannisters, which makes it really hard for him, because not only is he the odd one out because he's a dwarf, but he's an odd one out because he has actually like, I think, a purer heart than the rest of them. I think all the Lannisters are very much like, okay, what can we do best for the Lannisters? And Tyrion is like the only Lannister that doesn't really think that way. It's more of like, what can we do best for the realm? It's more of like a Varys mindset, which is very interesting to me. And that makes me really like Tyrion, because he's not, you know, conforming to how the rest of his family is. He's doing things his own way and things that feel right to him. And I really like that about him. Tywin in the love category again. Tywin is insane, y'all. Like, imagine having a brain like Tywin. It was just seeing him on the screen, every single time he's on the screen, I'm just so enthralled. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like, this man is so calculated. And it's like I was saying with Littlefinger, he's doing it for his whole family. It's not just for him, but it's for his whole family. And that's where I can really respect him, because I'm like, wow, dude, like, you're making moves. They're crazy. And his acting is insane. Varys has grown on me a lot. Y'all, the love category is insane. Varys has grown on me a lot. I really, really like him. I wasn't sure how I felt about him last season, but the more screen time we get with him, the more I'm like, okay, yeah, I really like your vibe. And he seems to be very similar to Tyrion in a way, and he seems to really like Tyrion, which makes me like him. So I really do like Varys, and I think he plays a big role in most of the plot, like with the court. And I'm wondering like what he's gonna do now moving forward, because we saw like that whole scene with Tywin sending Joffrey to bed, and like Varys giving little side eyes and like kind of defending Tyrion in a way. Like, it's really fun, but I'm like, okay, if he's gonna be on Tyrion's side, is that gonna create a rift with Tywin and whatever? So drama. And then lastly, Ygritte. I'm still kind of convinced she might die, or she might kill Jon, or I really don't know what's gonna happen with their story now, because I was really loving their story. But now they're separated, and now there's like this like angriness between them. I don't know how else to say it, but there's like this tension between them. And I'm really sad that it's over, but I'm like, okay, well, now what? Because we know that we have wildlings on this side of the wall, and Jon made it back to the wall. So are we gonna like fight each other? Like, is she gonna change sides? Is she gonna maybe like sacrifice herself for Jon? Like, one of the wildlings goes to kill Jon and she sacrifices herself. Like, what's gonna happen? So I'm really eager to see what happens with that, but at the same time, I'm kind of just like really sad that the relationship is over, you know? But yeah, those are my thoughts. I think it's really hard to tell with some of these characters, because like sometimes I'll be like, oh, I really like that character, and then they'll do something shady. Or kind of like with Marjorie and Sansa, like that was like a big whiplash moment for me, where I was like, wait, do I actually really like Marjorie? But I think I do. So it's really hard to tell, because I'm like, okay, I think I like them, but like I think anything could happen in this story where I stop liking them. So yeah, those are my honest thoughts. Hopefully it's not as controversial as last time. I don't think it was, but yeah, a lot of characters are growing on me. They're getting there, but I'm really curious to see who dies next, because now we know nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. So I'm definitely anxious, but I'm excited for season 4. Season 3 was so stinking good, y'all. It was so good. But yeah, y'all, that's all I've got for today. I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I will see ya in the next one. Okay, bye.